see this, it's going to be maybe 2 or 3 days after the one that you just saw, the last one I posted. Because that makes sense. It's the same day actually. It's still really cruddy outside. The thing about YouTube is when I get motivated to make videos, I have to do it now. When I'm motivated. Motivation, last video, so funny. I was getting ready for school and I saw a video request. She knows who she is. And so she asks me, can you make a video on how to deal with self-harm scars? I haven't cut in like 4 months. It looks like years for me, but sometimes when I look at my scars, it makes me sad and I want to do it again. It makes me depressed. So if you have a way of dealing with it, please would you? I would be so thankful. Self-harm scars. I did make a video on my thoughts on my self-harm scars, but I didn't really talk about how to look at your scars and accept them. How do we look at our scars and accept them the way they are? I used to feel like a failure, like an absolute failure when I looked at my scars. And I would look at them, I would think about what I did to myself, what put me in that situation to do that to myself. I remember mostly every single thing that triggered me to do the big scars on my body. I remember how I felt, I remember what the situation was, and I felt horrible. And so when I used to think about my scars, I used to feel about those emotions. They would come back and that would depress me. And like this user is saying, is when we look at our scars, sometimes they depress us. Sometimes we feel like failures. Sometimes we don't even know what to do. Sometimes we get depressed. I totally understand that. In the past, when I looked at my scars, I wanted to cut again because I would tell myself, well, I already did it. It's already there. I already have scars, so what are a few more? And then I would self-harm again, and it would be a horrible, vicious cycle of self-harming. I really don't know what changed. But what I did is I started getting more self-confidence with my body and with me in general. In the last year or so, my self-confidence has skyrocketed. And now when I look at my scars, I say to myself, that's okay. I went through very hard times in my life, but I made it. I made it through those situations, and I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not in those situations anymore. I'm not thinking about it anymore. I made progress. And even though I am in self-harm recovery, even though I still think about it, I'm not gonna do that anymore. And I have this mindset where I don't see my past anymore. I don't look at my scars and I say I'm a failure. I look at my scars and I say I survived. I did it. I made it without self-harm for 4 months. I made it without self-harm for 6 months. I don't even know how long it's been right now, because right now I'm not even counting the days anymore because I don't want to think about it. How I deal with it is I say to myself, I did it. I made it those months, weeks, days, I made it. Make a negative situation a positive situation. Say you did it. You survived. It could have been a lot worse. This is what I'm stuck with. You have to look at your scars for the rest of your life. They aren't going away unless you have some type of surgery where you take skin from your butt and put it on wherever you want to. Skin grafts or something. That would be the only way the scars would go away. You can try oils, you can try a lot of different kinds of things that I've tried in the past to make them less noticeable, but they're still there and the memories are still there. So the memories are still going to be there. The thoughts are still going to be there. We have to look at our scars for the rest of our life. So why look at them and be depressed? Why look at them and feel like a failure if you have to look at them every single day? Why don't we change the negative thing that happened to us, the negative thing that we did to ourselves, and make it positive? Say, I did it. I made it out of that. These scars represent where I'm going. For me, I felt like I didn't have a future. I felt like I was a failure. I felt like I'm not going to live past a week or a day. I felt horrible. But now when I look at them, I say, I have a future. I can make something for myself. I can help people. I could educate people so that they don't have to go through what I did to myself. That's kind of how I get through it. I like my scars because of that now. I'm more positive. We're the people who have to look at our scars the rest of our life. Why would we be negative? Why can't we enjoy our body? Even though we did that to our body, why would we want to be negative about it? If you look at yourself and think you're a failure and it makes you worse, it makes you depressed, we should really get out of that mindset. Because like I just said, we're gonna have to live with it. So why can't we make this a positive thing? Why can't we say to ourselves, I made it out of that, and now I'm gonna help others, or now I'm going to do things that are better for myself. I'm gonna get better coping skills. I'm going to do things for myself now. I'm going to do things for my future. I'm going to be motivated to do more things. Why can't we think of it that way? I've been where you are. I've looked at my scars and want to cut myself again because I have scars, and that depresses me. Why can't we get out of that cycle? Why can't we say to ourselves, I'm beautiful, my body is beautiful, and even though I have these scars and they're imperfections now, they're still part of my body. I love my body. I love myself. Think about your recovery when you think about your scars. Think about your recovery, the people around you who love you and don't want you self-harming yourself anymore. Maybe make that a motivation. Whew! I don't know what I just said, and usually these kind of rant videos, I never know what I just said. I hope what I just said helps somebody out there. Let's make a negative thing that we did to ourselves a positive thing. Let's think about the future now instead of our past. I hope this helps somebody. Comment below on how you deal with your self-harm scars. How do you personally deal with having these scars? How do you make it a positive? Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys next time.